The best way to get better at programming is to practice. In this example, we're going to extend a little bit of what we've done previously by taking a class, but making it so it extends the JFrame. That way, we don't have to do everything inside of a main function. As always, these files are available for download. Use that link provided below in the description. We'll pause for a few seconds so you can download it, and then we can continue together. All right, so let's get started. We have here example 3, and what we want to do is take this class and simply extend JFrame. This is one way of doing this. We could also have a separate class which completely contains the JFrame, and you can call that class. That's a little less common. This is a little bit more common. In order to do this, what we're going to need is we're going to have some class level variables, and these are going to be all of our different fields that we're going to have. So far, we've looked at things like a JButton. We'll just call this button. And we're not going to create this object because we're not inside the constructor. So we're going to wait till we're inside a constructor to actually create that object. So we could go ahead and add additional class level variables. These would be other fields, text fields, labels, etc. We haven't looked at those yet, so we're just going to keep this really simple. Then we're going to go and create a constructor. So I'm going to say public example 3. Anything I need to do to set up my frame in my window, that's what I would do inside of my constructor. Now I can do things like say super.setTitle, and this allows me to set the title by calling my parent. But since I extend this, I can also say this.setTitle if I want. I can set my size by either using a dimension or using the width and height as I did before. So I can say my width is going to be 400 pixels, my height is going to be 200 pixels, just like I did in my previous example, etc., etc. Once I set all of my internal properties I want to set, then I would come over here and say button equals new JButton. I can specify some text that I get for this, just like I did previously as well. So I can go through this whole process, setting this all up the way I'd want it to be set up. I can add my event handlers, etc. Now, I probably wouldn't want to set visible here inside my constructor. I might do that separately. That way I can kind of construct this window and then I can display it when I want to based upon another application. In fact, this whole process is designed to allow me to go in and create multiple windows within the same application. And that's the whole idea. It's not uncommon to have multiple windows or at least multiple panes inside the same application. So with the JFrame, this allows us to create a separate window. We're going to look at a future example about how to create a separate pane that can be swapped out. But this is just a real quick example of something that we can do to start to set things up. Obviously, we can have dozens of different fields. This is just a single button because that's all we need to create for this example to work. So hopefully this is a good example of showing you why you might want to use and extend a JFrame or some other field like that instead of having it inside of another application. If you did find this useful, please go ahead and give the video a like and subscribe so you can see more examples in the future on how to get better at programming.